What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with some more NFL Sunday. Texans versus Patriots, Rams versus Bears. Another what should be competitive games for this NFL playoffs. We are coming off of a win for the Seahawks and a win for the Broncos. Broncos winning in overtime versus the Bills. Super close game. Actually called both the games yesterday correct. Taking a look at our free picks from yesterday, we ended up going 3-1, so we missed one of the four props I gave, and ended up being Sam Darnold passing yards. So talking about that prop, honestly, just unlucky, man. The Seahawks got into a huge lead into the first couple of quarters, or the first quarter, I mean, and I think they were up like 17-3 or something like that. Eddie Pinheiro cashed his field goal line very, very early for us, him and Will Lutz. That one was free. I gave this for free on YouTube. And then we also ran this Norman Powell and SGA play over on Parlay Play. As for the whole day, the day was actually good. Had a nice little 4-man that we hit on Sleeper, and another 5-man we hit on Sleeper with Hero ended up being a DMP as well as Butler. So ended up being 100 to win 366. Had Klay Thompson, Bam, SGA, and Knuppel 150 for 330 on Prizepicks. And then here are the three money lines I ended up playing for college basketball. I had Kentucky, Tennessee over 145.5 total that cashed. Had USC spread that cashed, and the Texas A&M spread that ended up cashing. Looking at our bet tracker from yesterday, profited about $182 on the sports book, but also profited a lot on player props as well. So total for money lines this month, we're up 4,600, so almost $5,000. Looking at the plays that I played yesterday, these are the ones that I ended up running. I ran a sweetheart teaser for NFL, put $250 on it. The only one that missed is I had the game total under 56.5 for the Bills versus Broncos game, and ended up going over 60. So a shootout in that game. I called the script wrong on that one, and ended up missing that, but ended up taking the UK total, USC, Texas A&M, and then I played SMU +2, which ended up chalking as well. Faded the other two college games. I think maybe just one more that I didn't play. Can't remember. I think Notre Dame, maybe I ended up not playing because I wasn't sure about that one personally. But anyways, so far been a great month. Hopefully we can continue moving forward with this. You guys know how I do all these videos. If the video gets 250 likes, I select a random comment from the comments to win a free month of our VIP. So I'm going to be doing that in this video. I'm going to be selecting a random comment from yesterday's video, and let's go ahead and pick that winner so they can win free VIP. So winner's going to be for Chew Daddy, who said, "Let's go Broncos." So obviously I'm pulling for the Broncos. My wife is a Broncos fan. I wanted to put money on the Broncos. So let me go ahead and clarify something. If you're in our Discord, you know that we're pretty much one big family in there. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it's true. We literally all try to stay on the same side of bets. And I'll go ahead and say, like, in the playoffs for any sport, you're going to be split down the middle. Like, I wanted the Broncos to win. I thought the Broncos were going to win. The Bills, there are a lot of Bills fans in our Discord that wanted the Bills to win, and a lot of people who had money on the Bills. So I ended up not running Broncos money line just because I didn't want to split the Discord. I ended up playing the Bills +12.5. It was sweaty. They covered it, but it ended up chalking due to the total going over. So just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't run Broncos money line for that only reason, is not splitting the Discord. I wanted to take them. I thought they were going to win, and I said it in the video yesterday. So Chew Daddy, send me a message on Discord, my man, and I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And let's go ahead and talk about these NFL games for tomorrow's slate. So first game, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh to get rid of this Niners-Seahawks game off of here. Okay. Looks a little bit cleaner now. So let's talk about the Texans Patriots. This is game number 1. And you guys know how this goes. If a game is not in a dome stadium, we have to check the NFL weather report. So looking at the weather report for these two games, it does not look pretty. We have a partly cloudy game, 34 degrees, with 66% chance of snow for the Texans-Patriots game. It says, Sunday afternoon's AFC divisional round game will feature partly cloudy skies and cold temps. Light breeze blow from sideline to sideline. The cold conditions are going to favor the home team. Now, we thought that last week when the Texans are going on the road to play against the Steelers. Texans put belt to ass against the Steelers and whooped them. Is that going to happen versus the Patriots? I don't think so, but I think this game's good, man. And I'll be honest with you. I'm okay with either one of these teams going to the Super Bowl. I don't dislike this Patriots team. I'm kind of a fan of the Texans. My team's Dallas, but I pull for the Texans when I can. So I like the Texans as well. Wouldn't mind seeing that team make it to the playoffs or make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, but this game legitimately could go either way. Looking at the other game, we got the Rams versus the Bears. According to the forecast, expected to be 21 degrees, 65% chance of snow. So 2 very cold games, 2 snowy games. It says partly cloudy skies and cold temperatures are expected for Sunday night's game. Some very light snow is possible. Moderate winds will blow from sideline to sideline. Ball security will be an issue on the frigid conditions. This is going to lead to some very hard passing games, in my opinion. You got quarterbacks throwing with numb hands. It's harder to grip the ball. You can't see if it's snowing. Like, there's a lot of things that go into this when the weather gets this way. This being a 21-degree weather game, a little bit colder than this game, obviously. I'm expecting this to be honestly the worst game. I'm not going to say this is going to be a lower scoring game because this game right here should be very defensive, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I thought the Bills-Broncos were going to be defensive as well. So both games are going to be kind of tough in terms of playing against the weather. I'm going to wait until the morning to lock in a lot of slips, but I'm going to lock in 2 slips live on the video, first of all. But let's talk about Texans-Patriots. The Texans-Patriots right now of New England is minus 163 favorites at home, 3.5-point spread with a 40.5 total. Right now, most of the money's on the Patriots. You got 59% on Patriots money line, 74% on Patriots covering the spread. So this game, most of the public on the Patriots. Now, when you look at these two teams, both of these teams have been phenomenal, especially the second half of the season. Second half of the season for the Texans, they won 9 straight games. You can't knock this team because they started out the season pretty dang weak. They started out, 5-3, or 3-5. I mean, so couldn't have a 50-50 or over 500 record, and then just all of a sudden C.J. Stroud just found it, the team found it, and they ended up just dominating their way through the rest of the season. Look at the Patriots. The Patriots started out 1-2, so they started out struggling as well, but towards the end of the season or for the rest of the season, man, they only have 1 loss, and that was versus the Bills in a 35-31 shootout. So this game could legitimately go either way. Like I said, I'm happy with either team winning. When you're looking at the spread on this at 3.5, if I had to pick a team, I'm probably taking Houston plus 10.5 on a teaser. That's really what I'm looking at here. I don't know who I think wins. Houston for plus 163 is not a bad play in my opinion because I realistically could see the Texans winning. It's just so tough playing in New England in this cold weather. Give me the Patriots. I think the Patriots pull out the dub. I don't know that I'm a root for the Patriots. I'm kind of pulling for the Texans here, but like I said, I don't really care who wins this game. I think both teams deserve it, and I'm okay with either one of these winning. So, turn to player props for this game. Hard to lock in some player props. I wanted to take Drake May for 200 yards, passing yards. Ended up not taking it so far just because of the weather. I'm scared of the passing game, but I do have some props we're going to lock in, which I'll show here in just a minute. If you guys have not noticed, look, well, wrong hand, but right here, see that? We got a Fantasy Aces logo now, and I want to show you guys that I can upgrade the brightness on this thing, and you see how it just looks. Your boy has to turn the brightness all the way down. This is what it looks like off. We turn it on. Medium brightness, high brightness, low brightness. So low brightness is kind of where we're staying. You guys probably don't give a dang about that. I worked hard on that thing, man. I'm happy with it. I think it looks great. So I'm gonna be happy with my video. But anyways, that's what I got for the Texans game. Let's talk about this Rams-Bears game. So Chicago plus 186 underdogs at home. Plus 200 underdogs at home is crazy. 3.5-point spread, 48.5 total. Most of the money is going to be on the Bears. 70% on Chicago money line, 62% on the Bears plus 3.5. Look at these two teams. The Bears barely beat Green Bay. And then you look at the Rams, they struggled to beat Carolina. So neither one of these teams with dominant wins in the first game of the playoffs. So this game's kind of ugly. I haven't been on this Bears team all season, but they've proved me wrong. They've looked good. I still think the Rams are the better team. I really do. I can't trust Caleb Williams here. I'm going to run with the Rams. Not super confident in that, and minus 186 is pretty dang juiced. So if I was going to run a teaser on this one, I'd probably still run Chicago plus 10.5 on a teaser just because 10.5-point spread in a lot of these playoff games is tough. I know that we just saw the Seahawks put a freaking spanking on the Niners, but it is what it is. That happens sometimes too. This game is tough. Give me the Rams. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet in terms of a teaser. Probably going to end up running Houston plus 10.5 and Chicago plus 10.5 on a teaser for minus 140, but we'll see what happens. I may end up doing something slightly different on that. But give me the Patriots and give me the Rams. I don't know, man. That's so tough. Such a tough one. Either game can go either way. I'm not huge on this. Patriots, though, and Rams. Those are my two teams I'm picking if I had to pick. So that being said, let's go ahead and lock in some plays live on video. I do want to say, if you guys do want to get a free month of our VIP, you can sign up for any partnered app down in the description. That includes Chalkboard, Underdog, Sleeper, Novig, Dabble, Better, and Parlay Play. If you have not signed up for any of the 7 apps I just mentioned, you can sign up for each one of those and get a free month of VIP. You can get up to 7 full months for free. The one that I push the most right now is called Parlay Play. I like to push Parlay Play because it's the app that I use the most. You can get a $5 free play. So when you sign up using code Fantasy Aces, they give you $5 for free. You get a deposit match up to $100, and you can get a free month of VIP for Parlay Play. So just sign up if you haven't used it already. I know most people haven't used it. It's one of my favorite apps, and I'm going to continue to use it. That being said, we are now partnered with something called Upside Tools as well. Upside is an optimizer. What it does is it takes every play from our apps like Prizepicks, Underdog, and this is an example of the player prop optimizer. So you can come up here to the book. You can select whichever one of these that you use. If you use Pick 6, you can click Pick 6. I'm going to leave it on Prizepicks. You can select the league, so we're going to select NFL. And then you can look at all the plays that it has listed. So it gives you a projected hit rate. So 59.8% right here for Jaden Higgins over 5.5 targets. You can see why. It's minus 336 odds on Underdog, so the payout's going to be way better on Prizepicks, which is why it's telling you to play it there. And you can do this to line shop across multiple books. You can find where the best value is and find out where you want to play it. It gives you a great hit rate. Anything in the green right here is going to be a good play. I usually target anything over 54, 55% on the hit rate if I'm going to play one. But you guys can try it out for free for 5 days with a link down in the description, and you can get a 25% off discount using code Fantasy Aces. Links down in the description if you guys do want to do it. I also say if you guys want to get every single one of our plays, you can join our WAP. Our WAP link is down in the description as well. $10 a week or $25 a month. Yeah, $25 a month. You can get every single play that I personally lock in. You can get 20% off using code NBA. Let me know if you need help with this. Link for that's in the description. Discord's free to join if you're not in there already. Let's go ahead and jump into these slips for today. So the first pick that I want to take for today is going to be my kicker slip. I'm taking our man Fairburn. We just locked in a kicker slip, which cashed, and you guys can come over here to track picks. You can see, well, never mind. It's already, let's refresh. I should have my payout. Yep, my funds just went up. The 3 slips that were in there just cashed. I showed them to you. I'm going to show you to you again. Let's pull up that slip that I locked in. This is from our free picks from yesterday. Okay, well, Discord's going to do this again, so I'm just going to drag this over. So this is what we played yesterday. Will Lutz and Eddie Pinheiro. 1.5 field goals made with 0.5 field goals made. I love playing some of these kicker slips in these games that should be pretty defensive with bad weather. Fairburn should be a good play here. This is going to be a defensive game, in my opinion. You got 2 very good defenses playing against each other. Defense wins championships. You hear that all the time, and I expect nothing less from these 2 teams, especially in cold weather. Give me Fairburn for 1.5 field goals made. I think he cashes this. Head-to-head, he had 2 his last game versus New England. That was from last year, so that's not from this season. But he's cashed it 88% of games on the season. Come down here and look at his field goals made. His longest on the season is a 57-yarder. He averages a 46-yarder per game. He averages 3.1 field goal attempts per game. 2 games ago, he had 6 versus the Colts. Lots of games where he has 3 or 4 or more. So give me Fairburn. I think 1.5 field goals made for him is something that you really can't pass up in a game like this. So lock him in. Who am I going to pair him with? I'm going to pair him with Santos. This is going to be the Bears kicker. I think the Bears kicker is also going to come out here and give us at least 1 field goal. So I'm taking him over 0.5. So we're looking at that. 0.5, he's cashed 9 of his last 10. 88% hit rate on the season. Some of these games he's getting 3 or 4, so this is a good matchup for him. The Rams defense has struggled in certain times. I do think with the bad weather, though, they're going to be able to get at least 1 stop and at least 1 possession for the Bears to kick a field goal. So give me that right there. 1 field goal is made. Nothing I'm really sweating too much on. I think he cashes this out. So Santos, 1.5. It gives us a I'm pretty sure this is a 1.9x on Prizepicks. 1.9x on Prizepicks compared to a 1.6x on Parlay Play. This is unplayable on Parlay Play, so we're going to lock this in on Prizepicks. This is where you need to go for this. I'm going to do that as soon as this video ends and post it for a 1.9x. Crazy, crazy good value there. So let's go ahead and click off of this and go ahead and clear this so Prizepicks doesn't get any ideas in terms of lowering the payout. But yeah, you guys just saw that. So Santos and Fairburn on the first slip should be a good play in my personal opinion. So jumping into slip number 2, this one we actually will play on Parlay Play. I've already checked the payout on there. But the first one's going to be for our man Kyron Williams and DeAndre Swift. So we're going to come over here to NFL promos. there is a Swift and Williams promo. Now, I'm risking it on this, and I'm risking it because of the weather. It's cold weather, snowy conditions. These teams are probably going to be leaning towards the rush. Now, that being said, if something happens and the weather clears up, they're going to throw the ball, both teams. So remember that. I do think the running game is definitely going to be there, though, and I do like Kyren Williams with DeAndre Swift for 122.5 rushing yards combined. So we're risking one of these to get a good game or both of them to have mid games. If one of them has a bad game, the other one's going to have a great game to make up for it. Both these teams split the run. So this is taking a chance. It really is taking a chance. But this is pretty good value here, 1.77x. So let's talk about it. So let's pull up our man DeAndre Swift. So Swift is obviously going to be splitting the carries. His rushing line, if I can find it. So rushing line is 55.5. So that's 55 of those yards gone. He averages 67 on the season. He's averaging 14 carries per game. He's going against the 11th ranked rushing defense in the league, 13th overall. But they give up 111 rushing yards per game. Now, he is still the lead running back. He gets 44% of the carries. You got our man Kyle over here who's going to get 33% of the share. Caleb Williams can carry the ball every once in a while. But Swift is still the number one running back. Now, I do expect Swift to struggle a little bit. I'm hoping he can have a breakaway game. Head-to-head, he had 93 yards his last game versus the Rams. This was from last season, so it doesn't count from this year, really. But he still had 93 rushing yards on him. In a cold game like this, in a game where he could get 14 carries or so, I do think 55.5 is low. I'm not playing his line by itself, like I said, so we're playing it with Kyren Williams as well. Kyren Williams, we'll go ahead and pull him up. Let's take a look at how he's fared versus the team in the past. So Kyren Williams. This is from the same game, so it's a game stack, obviously. His line is 59.5 for even odds. He's cashed just 8 of his last 10. He's averaging 73 rushing yards per game on the season. Some of these games getting very, very close to 100. If he gives us close to 100, we're cashing this for sure. I'm looking at Chicago, 134 rushing yards per game on average, giving up the 27th ranked rush defense. If you go to the running back position, give up 104 rushing yards to the running back position on average. Coming down here, you got Kyren Williams and Blake Corum splitting the rush share again. Williams is still getting 56% of the rush share. He's averaging 15 rush attempts per game. He's had 13, 12, and 13 in his last 3 games. In some of those games, he should have had more in some of those games. Obviously, if they're falling behind a little bit, they're going to end up throwing the ball. But they got Blake Corum as well, so if Corum has a great game, Kyren might not get as many carries if he's struggling. It is what it is. I think they cash this line. I think one of them can have a breakaway game. Like I said, it only takes one of them to have a breakaway game, which is why this combination line is so good. If Kyren Williams has a 100 rushing yard game, we only need 20 from Swift. The odds of him giving 20, obviously, are going to be there. So, like this line a lot. What am I going to pair it with? I'm going to pair it with our man Ramondre Stevenson. So, I'm taking Stevenson. I'm keeping this kind of safe. So, what I'm doing is taking Stevenson for rushing receiving yards, and I'm going to take this for 39.5. So 39.5 rushing receiving yards. It gives us the double up. I'm putting 250 on this to win 487.5. I'm going to hit plays. That is locked in live. So let's go ahead and pull Stevenson up. 39.5 rush and receiving. So come down here. Another game that should have some snow. They should get some carries. Obviously, there's 2 running backs. Both running backs could end up splitting the carries. 39.5. He's cashed 11 of 15 games this season. If you look at him as of lately, the dude has been a beast. He has had almost 300 rushing and receiving yards in his last 2 games combined. Has been dominating. He averages 9.3 rush attempts per game. He's averaging 2.7 targets. His last few games, he's getting at least 3 targets per game. Houston has a good defense. I know it's going to be tough for him. If you come here and look at rush attempts, Henderson obviously gets a little bit more rush attempts. If you look at targets, Henderson actually has more targets this season. But take a look at Travion Henderson for the last few games. Rush attempts, he's averaging, he's getting more carries, but targets is really what I'm looking at because receiving yards on this could be a lot. He's averaging 2.4 targets on the season. He's only had 2 targets in his last 4 games combined. So you got to remember that as well. Give me Stevenson in this one. I think he's starting to get He's had some really good games. I think they're going to lean on tonight. That's all I'm going to say. So, got that slip locked in. Come over here to Track Picks. You can see we got Ramondre Stevenson with DeAndre Swift and Kyren Williams collab. 122.5 with 39.5, 250 to win 487. You guys already saw that field goals made slip that we're going to lock in. It's going to be this right here for 1.9x. Fairburn with Santos. Lock it in if you like it. Fade it if you don't. Those are the 2 slips I'm running with. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you haven't already. We'd love to have you guys in there. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you cash every single slip. Hope you guys have an awesome Sunday, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.